Well, hello, my friends. It's me, Stu, here for you, and we are back again today because we have a treasure and a treat of a discussion with the one and only Lisa Breitenfeld. Lisa, how the heck are you, buddy?
Hey, Stu, I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me
Listen,
on
thank you
today.
so much for joining me here today. I'm excited to talk to you because you not only have one, not two, but you have multiple membership sites. Some are set four membership sites total. Some are sending like physical items out to your members. Some are digital. And what's really unique about this is you're in a very tiny, unique market. And so let's kind of start there. Who is it that you serve in your market?
Sure. Well, I serve geocachers, and geocaching is a kind of a high-tech hide-and-seek game, kind of like Pokemon, but you get to find real things in the real world.
Yeah, and I never knew about this until I met you, and you've educated me, and I'm like, oh, my kids would love this, but like it appeals to kids and adults, all spectrums, and so it's kind of like a game where there's things hidden around the world, and you're following clues to discover them. Am I right?
Yeah. There's an app for it, so it's free to play. It's a free app for your phone, and that will help you navigate to where all the different geocache containers are, like like these.
Okay, so and so people hide these, around the world, and then they post clues as to where to find them. Is that right?
Right, at geocaching.com is the main listing site. And there'll be there's information about each cache and where it's located, the difficulty, the terrain level, that sort of thing. And it often takes you to amazing places. It's really more about where it takes you than what you find.
Okay, so I love this, and when I met you, as I said, I didn't really know about geocaching at all. Now I'm fully aware of it, and in fact, just the other day, a couple weeks ago, we watched a movie, with the kids that was all about geocaching, and I'm like, I know this. This is what Lisa does.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about the memberships, like. Have you always been in this market? Like, let's talk about where you got started with geocaching.
Yeah. So I started geocaching in 2002. The game actually started in 2000. So I was kind of an early adopter, I guess. And, as a couple of years went by, I realized there really wasn't much product for geocaching. Folks were literally emptying their junk drawers looking for, leftover Tupperware or notebooks and things to hide and such. And so I thought maybe it's time to launch a new business. So I started Cache Advance in 2005 as a product-based e-commerce website and ran that out of my house. Yeah.
And that was serving the geocaching market.
Right. Yeah. Developing new products like Dr. B's Cache Repair Kit. It's kind of first aid kit for Tupperware, and lots of other products. As the game evolved, I had a lot of fun, dreaming up new things and creating them and working with branding and the marketing and such. But then sales started to dwindle actually in the mid-teens. And that's when I thought, I need a new killer product. And I came up with the Cache Crate, which is my monthly subscription box.
Okay, so this was membership number one, which is a subscription box. And so when you're sending that out, what's included in the subscription box?
Yeah, it's various things. It's a surprise every month. So it's just $25 a month plus $5 shipping currently. And we do a mix of gear that you would want while you're out geocaching, some caches to hide. You can also trade items inside of the caches. So there'd be, swag or trade items, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's just mostly outdoor gear, but more specialized to just what geocachers would want.
Amazing. Okay, so, and you send this out, is it a monthly subscription box?
It's monthly, and then I have a quarterly VIP box as well.
Got it. Okay, awesome. So this was the first membership that you launched, and when was this one?
2015. So
Got it.
Just
Okay.
celebrated 6 years.
Amazing. Okay, so it's been around for quite some time, and as you were growing that, what led to the second membership?
Yeah, well, I could never get over 200 members. with the cache crates. And so I thought maybe doing something not product based, so no cost of goods involved, and more teaching geocaching would be the way to go. So I was researching that in early 2019. And that's when I stumbled on you, Stu, and started watching some of your videos and learning about memberships. And I thought, this is my mentor. So I joined Tribe in 2019 and launched the Caching League, a founding member launch, and had, I think, 27 folks join me in May of 2019.
That's amazing. Okay, and so with the so this is your caching league, and this is where you're teaching more of how to be an effective geocacher. So I'm just trying to make the distinction for everybody.
Yeah.
The first one is the subscription box where you're sending out items for people. This one is you're teaching people. Now, is it predominantly you teaching in that membership?
Not anymore. I've actually hired another instructor last fall to take over the teaching. That's one of his passions, is teaching geocaching, and he's doing a great job. He'll send me the videos, and then I run them through Searchy and put them in the membership.
And I think this is a really important lesson, because many times we think that we have to be the one that's out in front teaching all the things. And in this case, you're saying, well, yeah, I started that way, but I've actually transitioned, and now I've got an instructor, which again has freed up more of your time. And my guess is that has led to, you then using that time to launch another membership. Am I right?
That's right. Well, yeah. Well, I really knuckled down on the Cache Crate, and we're over 500 members now there. And then last spring, about this time last year, I was looking to fully launch the Caching League more to the public and beyond just my founding members. And then COVID hit. And everybody was stuck at home. Nobody wanted to go out touching things. And I just wasn't comfortable launching to the public to tell them, go out and find geocaches and
right.
touch things, because you got to open them up and such. And we didn't know really what was going on this time last year.
And so it was a major curveball, because I remember the discussions with you in the community where you were literally on like the verge of launching this membership or relaunching and stuff. And yeah, it was like a major curveball, which was like everybody's in lockdown. Nobody wants to touch anything, which is like the complete opposite of, what you want to see happen in your market. So what were you thinking in that time? Like, what was going through your mind in that moment?
Yeah, well, actually, you all challenged us to, what can we do for our people now? How can we think outside the box, literally, the cash box, and, help out our community while they're stuck at home? And one of the number one things that I always get questions about is how to solve puzzle caches or mystery caches. And that's a small subset of geocaching, where you actually have to do some research or some homework, learn something about something to solve the puzzle, and that will unlock the actual coordinates of where the geocache is. And they're within 2 miles of where the owner, says that they're going to be. And so thought, that's perfect. That's a perfect, we do that in the wintertime here in the Northwest when we're stuck at home and can't go out caching. We work on solving puzzles. So I reached out to a pal of mine, Coley Long. He's the author, literally wrote the book on how to puzzle cache. And he'd actually been in my caching league a couple of times as a guest speaker as well. And so I knew that we could work well together, and we launched the Puzzle League.
And so this is a totally different type of membership. And I'm thinking back to even the movie Jumanji. Like in Jumanji, they're having to solve like all these, riddles and puzzles to get themselves to the next point. And it's a similar sort of scenario where, now with everybody being home, you're using this time to solve the puzzles to uncover these different locations.
Right. Yeah, it was the perfect thing to do. And I had so many people thank me for that. And I also granted access to my original founding members of the Caching League too. And it's gone well. About 150 members there.
Okay, that's what I was just going to ask you. So this was like in the midst of COVID, you made a major pivot to launch a completely different type of membership. This is a digital membership, and I want to make that distinction. And now you're up to 150 members in this membership, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We're just
And
gearing up next week. We're going to do a 5-day challenge and relaunch. And my goal was by summer, but possibly fall to double the membership.
that's amazing, buddy. And so we've talked about 3 of the memberships. You have a 4th membership. So let's talk about that. What is that one?
I did. It's a t-shirt membership. This is one we sent out last year.
Amazing. Look at that. That's awesome. Yeah. So this is like now we're going from a digital membership, we're going back to a physical product. So you're going back to your roots, so to speak. And this is a t-shirt of the month club for geocachers.
Right. Just for geocachers. Yeah. And it's gone really well. It's really easy. I only have to come up with one design and pick a color every month. And I formed a great partnership with a local gal that she's done a couple of shirts for me in the past for my business. And now we're actually even sharing warehouse space. So yeah, that's worked out well.
That's amazing. And so what I love, Lisa, is that you have a combination of a variety of different things. And I'm hoping that everybody listening can really take this in. One with your subscription box, like the crate box, that's where you're really providing like tools and materials that are going to help people in the process of geocaching. You've got your digital membership, which is where you're teaching people how to become a better geocacher. Then you've got your other membership, the puzzle membership, where you're teaching them how to solve puzzles better, faster, easier. And then you got your t-shirt of the month club, which is, again, specifically for geocachers, which my guess is you're probably the only t-shirt of the month club for geocachers. Am I right in that?
Yes, we are. Yeah. There are other geocaching t-shirts, but they're just, one-off that you buy from their website.
Yeah. And what I love about this is like you've encapsulated the community as a whole in a variety of different ways. You're providing tools, you're providing, teaching and helping them become better geocachers. And then you're providing like items which, a hardcore geocacher fan is going to just fall in love with because they can't find them anywhere else, And so you've really encapsulated the market in a variety and serving the market in a variety of different ways, but all through membership sites. And so what advice would you give, having now hundreds and hundreds of members across all your different memberships, what advice would you give as it relates to just starting that first membership?
Good idea. A good question. Well, again, really survey your people. What do they want? When I started the cache crates, I literally put together a quick Google survey and sent it out to my email list and my Facebook page. Would you like to get a subscription box for geocaching? What do you want in it? How much do you want to pay for it? When do you want to get it? When do you want to pay for it? And they told me. I had 800 people fill out the survey and tell me exactly what they wanted. And, I had a whole list of inventory that I could work my way through for the next couple of months to get started. So literally talk to your people. What do they want? And how can you best serve them?
And what I love about this too is like that is a principle that you have used for each of your memberships, right? Like it's you didn't just magically come up with all the ideas all at once. It's evolved as a result of working with your audience and learning from them.
Right. And also knowing that if you're going to be doing multiple ones, to really get the first one dialed in and steady and strong and have a pattern of your launching or how you want to run that. And then you've got that recurring revenue coming in to free you up to be thinking about what's the next thing to do.
I love that. That's a sage piece of advice right there, Lisa, because often in the beginning, and we see this in the tribe community many times where, people are wanting to launch, multiple membership sites all at once. And I'm always saying, whoa, pump the brakes on that. Like, let's just get one out. Let's get into a rhythm with one first. And you've really done that. Over the years, you've had your subscription box since 2015, which I think is really important for people to hear. And then it wasn't until 2019, am I right in that, when you launched the second one? So you were well into a rhythm at that point. And now over the years, you've launched, now a total of 4, but in each case, you were in a rhythm with that new membership before you launched the next one.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And then asking for help, hiring the instructors, where I've learned I like to think of myself as a teacher and guide, but that's not my passion. It's passion is to put it all together for my people. Yeah.
And what I love here is that that's okay. Like, I love that you're giving people permission in saying that, like, it's okay if you may have a passion for the topic, you may have a passion for the subject, but there may be other people who can teach it in a way that, frees you up to focus on, growing the business and expanding in other ways. And so I love that, because I think many times we get pigeonholed into thinking that we've got to be the one source of all the information. But the reality of it is that that's just not the case.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah. There's always going to be people that we can partner with if we want to. And I think we should. Again, it does free us up to do more.
And I want to kind of touch on that just here a little second, if you're okay with it. But how did you go about finding your instructors? You mentioned, that you had known them for a while. Can you kind of speak to that? How did that happen?
Well, I'm pretty social, and geocachers get together for events, big regional events. Sometimes up to 7,000 people will get together for a day of seminars and geocaching and vending booths and such. And so, I've gotten to know a lot of people and partnered with them, and and also sold some of their products as well, through my retail site or my wholesale sites as well. So that's where I've found a lot of those folks, is either online, through relationships that I've built. And some of them have just been amazing for my business, and then really great relationships, partnerships for my members as well.
I love it, Lisa. I love it a lot, because I think there's so much to be said for the relationships that can be formed and the collaborations that can happen. I was just sharing this morning on Instagram, two of my favorite brands, Adidas and Peloton, have come together, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And this is what I'm talking about. This is so much opportunity for collaboration and being able to come together and forming those relationships. And that's what I heard from you even earlier in the interview, when you were talking about teaming up with the author of the book. That's a relationship that you had in place for a while, and then just saw the way in which you could work together in them becoming an instructor inside the membership.
Yeah, that's worked out great. Like I'd said, I'd known him for some time, met him at some major events over the last couple of years as well. Obviously, we're not having events right now, so I'm able to bring geocaching to people virtually.
I love it. Okay, so let me ask you one final question, and then we'll look to wind up. But with 4 memberships, the big question is, how do you manage 4 memberships simultaneously, Lisa? So if you wouldn't mind spending some time, talk to us about that. How do you manage 4 different memberships?
Yeah, well, you have to be strategic about when your deliverables are and space them out. So like this week right now is what we call crate week, or crate day, where we are packing the cache crates. So right after this, I'm going to be going into my warehouse and putting together 500 of these. And then the other memberships are sprinkled throughout. The deliverables come at different times of the month. So that's how I give myself a little bit of margin between particular launches. But of course, there's a lot of prep work leading up to that. So you've got to pre-order the merchandise and have your classes or courses scheduled and such. I also use, it's kind of buried, I can't quite reach it, but just a big calendar with sticky notes and to plan my launches as well. So you can't be launching back to back. I did that once and it's exhausting. You've got to really space those out as well. So you don't want to wear out your audience, and you can't wear out yourself.
And then a valuable lesson there, because so often, memberships that flounder and flutter along, so to speak, it's because they're reacting. They're in the moment, like, oh my gosh, like, we got to get the deliverable out this week, or oh my gosh, like, we got to do a promotion, and they're always reacting. Whereas what I'm hearing from you, and this is a really important point, is the more you can get ahead and plan ahead, the easier managing a membership becomes. And both from managing or planning ahead in terms of the promotions, as you were talking about, and then also the content and delivering that content. And so I just love that. This is, speaking to a membership site owner that's, been doing this for a long time. I can hear the experience coming through in your responses. And I think that's a big lesson for everybody, is that, when you plan ahead, the membership becomes not only more impactful in terms of the impact it can have on your members, but it becomes so much easier for you to manage.
Most definitely. Yeah, you've got to plan ahead and also be flexible and on top of it in case you have to pivot a little.
Yeah, well, a case in point was last year, like that was a major pivot for you. And I'm just, I remember the moment when you shared in the community how the pivot went and the members that you welcomed. And it was just a great moment. It was a great moment because here was this major curveball that created, naturally a whole bunch of anxiety. You were going in one direction, you're about to launch, and COVID hits, and everybody's in lockdown. And I just love not only the pivot, because you asked a different question, like, how can we continue to serve our members? But it led to a whole new membership with now hundreds of members in it, which is amazing. And I'm just really, really excited for you, Lisa. As we wind down, any final thoughts for everybody as it relates to memberships, both on the physical side and the digital side?
Gosh, nothing I can think of other than, just having that recurring revenue is so relaxing. I was able to quit my day job over a decade ago, and had to close my retail store. I had to move, and then COVID hit. So it was so easy. I didn't have to worry about it. And I'm not tied down to a retail store anymore. So that's another thing that's just really nice to, as long as you can plan it out and know what you're doing and how to serve your people best, I say go for it.
Lisa, you're amazing, buddy. Thank you for being an inspiration to so many. And I just love the market that you're in. I love the way in which you've shown up. And I love the way in which you have continuously evolved the business to not just have 1, 2, or 3, but now 4 different memberships, all in their own unique way. So congratulations to you. Thank you for sharing. And look forward to hearing how it continues to grow.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Stu. You've been a great mentor to me.
I appreciate that. All right, everybody. So listen, if you are thinking about membership and you are curious as to, would it be a good fit for your market? I want to encourage you to go to gettribeguide.com. There's the URL right there. This is where I answer the top questions that we get asked about membership sites. And we give you a variety of different examples of how people are using and creating different memberships. Just like you've heard from Lisa here today, physical membership with her subscription box, digital memberships where she's teaching how to become a better geocacher or, puzzle solver. And then also like the physical membership, the t-shirt membership. These are all different examples of recurring revenue. And if you're curious as to whether you would be able to do this in your market, go gettribeguide.com. It's all free. We walk you through the top questions I get asked, plus give you a bunch of different examples that are destined to get your creative juices flowing. So with that, Lisa, thank you so much for joining me here today. And I look forward to everybody. Keep me posted on your progress with your membership. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.